run to a new all-time high and yes, into price discovery, though it won't hit its peak without having corrections along the way. But that will happen, and then XRP will enter double-digit price action, $10 plus. At least this is what I'm seeing from a ton of different analysts. And so the part where we hit a new all-time high, if they're correct, that's going to be happening much sooner than later. So I'll share with you multiple perspectives from XRP chart analysts, including one who say, look, the peak, it's basically between about $18 and $36. And he gives rationale as to why. And there's also a bunch of reasons to be very excited based on historic precedents. Just understanding where we are in this market cycle. So based on historic precedent, things are really about to get hot, probably in the beginning part of January. Here, let's see exactly what I'm talking about. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? I'm just a bit enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 5:24 p.m. Central Time, Saturday, December 28th, 2024. XRP is $2.18, Bitcoin at $95,123. So for much of the last week, we've mostly been ranging. Not going to stay there, though. In fact, take a look at this and go with some very good reasons why, because history doesn't perfectly repeat, of course, but it does kind of rhyme with it, though. Here's a post from chart analyst Dom. Altcoins versus Bitcoin. Did you know that January 1st marks the exact start of alt season last cycle? It was perfectly down to the day exactly 4 years ago. Is that coincidence? I don't think so. Let's see if history can repeat again. And so for those of you looking at the screen, you can see we're moving my mouse right there. Bam. And you can see it really got out. 2021 was a pretty fun year mostly, despite the nonsense with the SEC. If we just block that out and pretend it didn't happen. It was an exciting time, though. But why did that happen? Well, it's the same reason that it's happening now. Because again, history rhymes with itself, but human behavior is what it is also because of what happens culturally, societally, in terms of expectations, family and work expectations. What's happening right now? Well, for much of the world, certainly here in the United States, which is the largest capital market in the entire world, it is, people are on vacation right now. Far fewer people are paying attention to investing in traditional finance and crypto. Is it surprising that once that came to an end, people started to pay a bit more attention? People got back to normal in the beginning part of January? That's not surprising. That's normal human behavior. So the fact that that lined up last cycle isn't surprising. And if it lines up again this time, roughly in that way, I won't be surprised at all. And even if it's slightly off from that, okay, history rhymes with itself. So I just don't think we're going to have to wait that much longer. I mean, we've already seen tons of excitement over this calendar year, 2024. We had tons of excitement for, the first few months. And, since the beginning part of November, the elections, it's been really exciting ever since then. So when I say we're not going to have to wait that much longer, I'm acknowledging, yes, of course, we've had excitement this year. But the most fun part, the final part of all this, the finale, it's about here. It is at hand. Here's another post from chart analyst Dom, Bitcoin dominance. And he writes, there's a clear bearish retest on dominance here. I used the golden ratio to perfectly pick the turning point for Bitcoin dominance last month. It only makes sense for the high to be in. Historically speaking, January is a good one for alts and a bad one for Bitcoin dominance. Now, I do want to be clear, especially if anybody's new to crypto, you might not understand the difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. But when we're talking about dominance, it's just the percentage of the overall market that Bitcoin consumes, basically. That's its plot of land. But as altcoins begin to outperform, even if the price of Bitcoin goes up, you can see its dominance in the market decrease. And historically, that happens every single market cycle. And he was calling this at the end of November. He said, this pretty much looks like it. This is where it makes sense for Bitcoin dominance to be finding its peak for the cycle. And it certainly has been true to this point. And so if history is going to rhyme with itself, then yeah, that was it. And we are super close to the final euphoric stages of the blow-off top, and it's not going to last long. It could be 30, 60, 90 days, anywhere around there. That would be pretty normal historically. And it doesn't mean that there won't be any excitement at all past then, but in terms of, peaks for pretty much, and then sadly we will be entering territory once again. But I will be sad. I will be sad because if this goes the way that I'm thinking it's going to go, I will have finally achieved what I've been seeking to achieve the last 7 years that I've been in crypto, which is to say sell most or all of my crypto. And then we're at the depths of the bear market. I'm still going to be running this YouTube channel. So I'd love it if you choose to hang out with me still, because I'm going to do it all over again. I'm going to buy a whole bunch of stuff, including XRP, load up, and then years after that, we will be in another euphoric bull market, and I'm going to ride it to the top, and, well, roughly to the top. You don't know exactly where the top is, and then we're going to sell again. There's too much opportunity to not keep doing this, obviously. Here's the post from Dr. Magic, and this is interesting, too. So, you know how we keep saying, and I just basically said a minute ago, the euphoric stage for the crypto asset class, it comes towards the end. Well, there's increasing exuberance along the way, and you can actually see that in the charts. So here we're talking about Bitcoin specifically, but take a look at this. You can see that's the rate of increases. Look at this. This is a Bitcoin USD chart going back to the end part of 2022, technically. So from the depths of the bear market, and here Dr. Magic wrote, channels are getting steeper. Ascending lines did the same in prior legs up by 10 degrees. Probably this time is not different. Yeah, I would expect it to not be different. So look at the end of 2022 as things were finally starting to get out of the depths of the bear market, into the first part of 2023. You can see directionally what was happening, and then it picks up pace. So that was a 33 degree incline. And then the next section here, and at 23 and early 2024, 42.49 degrees from where he drew the set trend lines. And then look at where we are right now. Into 2024, 52.85 degrees. Wait till you see the euphoric blow-off dot here. It's going to be crazy. So anyway, the point is this is what you should expect from a historical perspective too. More money flows in, more eyeballs on it as you get further out of the depths of the bear market, and then it culminates in this explosive final move to the upside. So what I'm saying is the reason I'm sharing this with you is to give you optimism, even if you're like me and you care about XRP more than any other coin. If you're like me and it happens to be your largest holding. The reason I go to the trouble to highlight all this stuff is because the asset class moves in tandem, and what I'm telling you is it's doing roughly, the whole asset class, it's doing roughly what we should be expecting it to do, and it has been throughout this whole process. That's exciting. I don't think it's going to deviate at the tail end of this thing. No, we're going to get ours, folks. Well, we going to get ours. Then there was this from Chart Animal's Mustache, hashtag altcoins, and he's talking about the Total 2 chart. That's the name of the chart that is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin, so all the altcoins. And he says, friendly reminder that Total 2 is still in the strongest upward, wave 3. Dips are for buying, in my opinion. So you can see where we are compared to the previous cycle. You know what's next, right? Yes, Mystery's rhyming with himself. And we have this from Charty Guy. He wrote, some patient XRP holders are complaining when the chart literally looks like this. The next leg up will change lives. Now that I firmly agree with. I believe that is by a lot the most probable. And now, mind you, I'm feeling as patient as ever. I feel just as patient as the day I first bought XRP, November 17th, 2017. Never sold a single XRP. I've just been waiting because that is what it takes to find success in investing. You have to genuinely be patient. So I'm not, but I understand that somewhere, especially the people that just jumped in, it's been, they probably jumped in towards that, some of them anyway, towards the peak of this most recent run up the video. In November, beginning part of December, that it's been sideways and down mostly for the last few weeks. Oh, consolidation, my friends. It doesn't stay here. No. It's not going to stay here. This rug up isn't done. XRP didn't consolidate longer than any other coin in history just to have one pump, not even head into all-time high and stop. No. This is not done, my friends. This is certainly not done. But anyway, what you got looking at the screen, I'll just note here. He drew a couple of trim lines here, and he's noting that the volatility of being, other than this slight deviation here, it looks like it's just basically, the volatility has just been decreasing. But what happens? As that happens, it's going to burst one way or another. And so conceptually, and I'm not a chart guy, but I know this, it's the same concept as, looking at that 7-year symmetrical triangle and saying, guys, this thing can't stay here forever. The volatility in this range over 7 years, it's decreasing, reaching the apex of this bitch. It's not going to stay here. Which way does it break? Well, you remember in a bull market, it made sense to say, yeah, it's going to move to the upside. And that is what happened. This is on a lower time frame, shorter time period, but it's the same concept. I'm not a chart guy, but I know that. It's public dough, folks. It's don't go.